providing a platform for knowledge sharing, mentoring, and collaboration. As we gear up for the placement season, this talk is a golden opportunity to gain valuable insights and guidance on how to prepare for interviews and excellent in your placement journey. We are honored to have with us an esteemed alumnus of VIIT, Mr. Vijay Kumar Vanale. Thank you for joining us, sir, today, who graduated in 2015 and has gone on to achieve remarkable success in his career. He is currently working as a senior data engineer at Globant. He has also worked as a senior software engineer at Accenture, inspiring many of us with his journey. Before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce two pillars of support for this event. Our respectful faculty members, Mr. Vishal Ambore sir and Mr. Vikas Kolekar sir, who have been instrumental in guiding us and making this event possible. I would like to welcome you all. Today's session will include a panel discussion and an engaging student question segment. To kick things off, we have an engaging panel discussion lined up. Mr. Vijay Kumar will share his experiences and strategies that helped him achieve excellence, followed by a moderated discussion. Let's dive straight into it. I now invite our panel moderator Snehal, along with Mr. Vijay Kumar, to lead this insightful discussion. Over to you, Snehal.
Thank you, Mehak. Good evening, everyone. I am excited to moderate today's panel discussion with Mr. Vijay Kumar, an esteemed alumnus and a senior data engineer at Globant. This session aims to provide invaluable insights to placements and career growth. Before we start our panel discussion, sir, would you like to share your thoughts?
Uh, yeah, thanks everyone. It's a nice opportunity for me to connect with all the students. So yeah, so first of all, yeah, I would this session is regarding the pre-placement talk. So I will firstly let me Mac has already introduced about me, so just I will give a brief about me. So I have been in IT since 2015, so it's around 9.5 years experience in IT. So over the years, I've worked on different skills, not only like one skill. So I worked on Java, then I worked on the data analyst part, and currently I'm working as a senior data engineer at Globant. So it's been a great journey so far, and so if you're enthusiastic about learning new things, you will get immense opportunities at each stage. So yeah, that is the like one thing I would like to mention. So never stop learning. So as a student, you don't have any expense, right? So you have to uh, grab every opportunity whichever it may come. So if you get any opportunity, it may be from development or from testing, like from testing domain or from support domain. So just grab that opportunity and then move on. So by side, you can prepare for the one role which you are aspiring for. So that is the uh, one thing I would like to say. And uh, so Snehal, uh, what should I cover next? If you could just brief me.
Yes, sir, let's get started with our discussion. So let's begin with something foundational. Resumes are often the first impression we make on our recruiters. In your
Right.
experience, what are some common mistakes candidates make in their resumes that they should avoid?
Okay. Yeah. So resume is the first thing. So it's your introduction to the any organization. So it should impress the the reader, the HR. So it should not you haven't prepared the resume well. If you have prepared the resume well, they will at least read through it, and maybe according to your the criteria, they will be interested in profile. So prepare well. So I would say give time to prepare the resume. And it's not like one time process. So it's not like there is a off campus organization is coming and you will prepare that once, and you will use that resume only throughout the year. So after each off campus, so you should review your resume and look what improvement you can do in the resume. So prepare well, and it should not be too long and too short. So it should be maximum 2 pages. So even 1 page is better at this moment, since you don't have any experience to show. So even the one pager is like best, because that goes through the tools, and if it is too long, then it gets automatically rejected. So it should be like better if you fit it in one page. Otherwise two page also fine. And prepare like keep the format like the format of the font should be like same overall through the resume, because most of the students what do they like, they copy something from someone, like they refer 2 3 resumes, they copy some text from here and there, and then they don't look after the like font and format. So you should make sure like at least when you are reading that, you should like get interested in your resume, like you are interested in reading whatever the content is. So yeah, that is the one thing. And it should be like well formatted, like highlight the things which are which can be like interesting, like you may be participating in coding, like coding programs which organizes like which college organizes. And also like if you are strong in any particular skill, like maybe in Java or C or any other skill, like not only the technical but like in communication or any other thing. So yeah, you should highlight it. And yeah, so it should be like short and simple, not too complex or not too short.
Okay, sir, thank you for shedding light on this. Moving forward, building on what are the key elements you personally look for in a resume when hiring the candidate?
Yeah, so when hiring the candidate, I look firstly like what skills he has, because we hire depending on the skills. So like we are hiring for some role, so we'll definitely look for the key skills. Like if I'm hiring for the Java developer, then I will firstly look for the if he know about Java or not, like he has any coding program. If like it's not the college level, but at personally if you have done any kind of like POC kind of thing on the using the Java, or if it's about like suppose a testing role, then if your analysis is good or not, so you can mention in your resume like I'm good in analysis, and you can give some example. So yeah, so that key thing is the first one is like skill. And then how like also the communication skill matter. So you should highlight that as well if you are good in it. Otherwise you can improve it and then you can highlight it. So those are the two things at the fresher level which needs to be like taken care by the students, because every panel will look after those two skills, and then he will go through the other points.
Okay, sir. And how important do you think it is for a resume to align specifically with the job role a candidate is applying for? And can a generic resume will work in today's competitive job market?
Yeah, it should be like the resume. I would say like if you are applying for the Java role, then update your resume as per the skills mentioned in the job role. If you are applying for the testing role, again update the skills. So you should not have only one generic resume, and you are applying to all the roles through that single resume. So if there is any change in the role and then job description, update your resume accordingly, because if you are not going to update it according to the profile, there are like 90% chances your resume get rejected even before like you have been called for the interview.
Yeah, like it's a point I think many of us will consider ahead. And looking back at your journey, what challenges did you face during the interview process for your data engineering role at Globant, and how did you overcome those challenges?
uh, yeah, so like since today's world is like at every day like there is a new thing coming, so you have to stay updated. So if you are staying behind, then you are like missing a lot of opportunities. So you have to always stay updated. So when I started my journey like looking for this role at Globan, so I found that yeah, I'm working on some things, but there are other things as well. Like currently there are Gen I's in trending, so you should know well about the Gen AI, and you should be like able to explain it like how you can use it to solve the business purpose or to use it in your daily like in daily job. And yeah, you have to stay updated. So that one thing I would say, because most of the time like when we get involved in some work, so as a like a Java developer or as a data engineer, I will look only after my work, and I will like say I don't have time to see other things. But that should not be the case. You should always like you should always allocate some time to stay updated and see what happening in industry. And accordingly you should be like having those skills, so you are not falling behind. Because if you stay behind, then there is like a lot of people who are uh, putting their efforts to get into this like industry, and then they will like always like they will have better edge over you.
Yeah, so moving forward, freshers often worry about standing out due to their limited experience. What
Yep.
advice would you give to a freshers on how they can make their resume stand out despite lacking industry experience?
Yeah, so like when organization looks for the freshers, so they don't expect you to like have some experience. But if you are applying for the positions where the freshers also are applying, and the experienced people also applying, so in that case you can showcase like you have done some projects which can be like which can show your skills, like even if you don't have experience, but at your personal level you are doing something, and you are interested in this like if you are applying for the Java role, so you should have some kind of you should have done some kind of POC, which can be a small project, which can be just for like uh, anything, like any example if you say. So you should have done some POC, because it will highlight your interest, and it will show like, yeah, even if you don't have experience, but at least you know the technology and how it can work in the real life. So that for the business purpose, like they will have the understanding, so you know how it works, and you can like with some guidance you can get to that level where the experienced people are.
Yeah, that's a fantastic advice for freshers. Then coming to speaking of roles, your current position at Globant must require a diverse set of skills. Could you share the technical and non-technical skills that are most valued in your role?
Yeah, so as a data engineer, like I should know like most of the programming languages. So the Python is the must have, then the SQL. After that, there is PySpark. So it is a Python library only. So PySpark is also there, and it's not limited to only these skills. But as depending on the project, you should also have the front end knowledge. So since I've already worked on Java, so I I have that knowledge. Then on the front end side, I needed to like work on the ASP.NET. So I was exploring that, and I'm still learning on that. But yeah, that is also one of the important skill. And on the non-technical side, if I say, you should have very good like presentation skill, because sometimes you have to like give the demo to the client, and if you suppose even if there is team lead, but he is not like maybe on PTO, so at that time you have a very good opportunity to showcase yourself, and that will like highlight your responsibility taking what say behavior. So that could be a like a very important one thing. And also you should be like a team player. So suppose you are given some task, so it should not be like you are looking into it and you are not getting it, and even then you are not going to any team member. So you should like get help from other people as well as help to other. If you know something about that things, like I'm like good in a Python, so some of my colleagues come to me if they don't have any like uh, if they have any issues or any concerns. And if I am struggling with some things, like suppose SQL, then I go to them and then I get some advice from them. So it should be like you should be a team player, not a single player. Like with the help of team you can solve every problem. So yeah, those are the non-technical skills also important.
It's fascinating to hear how mix of technical and soft skill is so critical for success in the industry.
Yeah.
Moving forward, many students are curious about how companies like Globant evaluate and hire talent. Can you share any insight into the hiring process at Globant?
Uh, yeah, so like as I heard from the other peoples in Globan, so they mostly look for the like experienced people, but I'm not very much sure like about the fresher side. So yeah, they look after the employees who are having at least 2 years experience. So yeah, and after that, like there are multiple rounds. So depending on each role, like as I have gone through the data engineer role, so there were different uh, 2 rounds of technical, and the third round was managerial round. So in which you will be like evaluated based on your like the leadership skill, the communication skill, then how confident you are like to handle the client. And yeah, then after that there will be a HR round, which again uh, uh, like just one last filter where they will see like if the candidate is fit for the role as per the all the parameters, because there is not only a technical parameter but other parameters also.
Yeah. And now moving forward, what motivated you to transition to a senior data engineering role, and what advice do you have for others who aspire to take on similar roles in the future?
Uh, yeah, so actually, when I was working on as a uh, uh, Java developer, so I was more interested in the data. So at that time, like I got a chance to work on a data. So after that, I got a role of data analyst. So not the data engineer, but yeah, I somehow got in the data, in the data studio. So here, like as I was more interested in data, so that's why I came in this data analyst role. And afterwards, like a data analyst is like uh, what I would say. So it's a lower, not lower one. So actually, what happens is like the data engineer is one who collect all the data and provide it to the data analyst, and the data analyst team only like present it in some dashboards, reports kind of tools, and they create the dashboards, the reports, and they will be like further used by the business. So that's why like I was more interested in like collecting the data and then segregating that data in such a way that it will be useful for the business. So that way like I got into data analyst, and after that, since I was more interested on the programming side, because I already worked as a Java developer, and as a data analyst, like there is a not not much programming is there, because they use only the some tools like Power BI, then they use SQL, but the programming is not that much in the data analyst role. So that's why I transitioned myself to the data engineer, where I'm working on the different like Python, PySpark, SQL, then on the front end skills as well.
Okay, then projects are an integral part of showcasing one's skills. In your opinion, what types of project impress recruiters the most? And how can students effectively showcase this in their resumes?
Okay. Yeah, so the project is the like most important part, I would say, because as a student you have only the project which you can showcase as your experience. So the project should be like they should be like not based on the old technology like C or C sharp. It should be like mostly if you are doing a project, then you should be like you should have at least use one of the trending technology. Like currently there is a chat gpt, gen AI is there. So your project should have, even if you are using any technology, it should have some part of that, like you are integrating gen AI within your project. So somehow like suppose you uh, if I talk about the project like a job portal. So suppose you have built a job portal using Java or any backend technology, but it should integrate, like you should have a chat gpt option as well in that. So if you are searching something, and you should like get some suggestions depending on like suppose you are building your resume, so that you will get the like auto suggestions what improvement you can do. So that that kind of features you should use in your project, so that the recruiter feel like, yeah, you are up to date in the industry, and you have more like more interested in working in the current industry, and like you are not using you are not sticking with old technology.
Yeah, that's very insightful. And transitioning from a student to a working professional can be challenging. What advice would you give to students about adapting to their first job in tech industry?
Yeah, so like when we are transitioning from student to employee, so there will be a lot of challenges, because as a student you don't have that much responsibilities. Like, yeah, as a student you have a responsibility to study and pass the exam, but as an employee, like, you have a lot of responsibilities. So you have to complete the all the tasks, as well as keep work as a team member, because you should not focus only on the technical thing but other things as well. So you should as in college days also, the the teachers encourage us to for you should be not only studious but also in sport and extracurricular activities. So same goes in the IT industry as well. So you should be good in the technical skill as well as like other skills, playing as a team member, and then also you should be interested in other uh, activities which should like highlight your unique talent. So yeah, that thing I would like to say.
Yeah. And can you tell us about your first job experience? How did it help lay the foundation for your career?
Uh, yeah, so my first job, after passing from VIT, so I joined Accenture. So there I have been given training on the SAP BI, but since because of the limited opportunities, I had to again cross skill through the Java. So you should be open for any role initially, because it's it's not like you have some skill and you are sticking to that skill, because as a student you should be open for every role and every technology, not only I'm interested in Java, so I will only look for the Java role. You should not stick to that kind of role. So in whenever like you are transitioning from student to professional, so at that time there are a lot of skills which are being used by every organization. So you should look for those skills, and if you're getting any opportunity, you should grab it. And then if you are interested in something else, so you can side by side you can study on that, and then keep yourself like upgrading on that skill. And once you get some kind of knowledge which you can showcase in your project or to your team lead, and he may like give you the kind of role which you are seeking. So yeah, you should not stick to one role, but you should be keep yourself open for every role.
Yes. And if you could go back in time and give one piece of advice to your college going self, what would it be?
Yeah, so there are many things, but yeah, I will I would like to tell one thing, don't waste time. So yeah, you should do everything as a student. That is the life which we don't get back, but you should utilize your times in such a way that you should not regret it, in latter times. So if you are going to that college and you are you should have some timetable, not only for like showcasing or just for your self obsession, but it should be like not that much strict, but you should have some time to learn new thing every day. Like every day you should learn something. So if you are interested in becoming a Java developer, so daily at least you should solve one of the code. There are many platforms like Lead Code is there, HackerRank is there. So at least you should solve one of the program from that platform, and it's absolutely free. So there are no any like charges for that. So you should like keep on learning whatever you are aspiring for, like in future. Like suppose you want to become a data engineer, then at least daily you should solve one Python program, one SQL query, and yeah, and then one of the like Spark thing you should learn. So yeah, whatever you want to like whatever the role you are interested in, so you should keep progressing in that way, some at least 1% each day. So yeah, obviously like in 1 year's time, or like now you will be passing out in 2025, so still there are 5 6 months. So yeah, you will be very better in those skills compared to the other students who are not preparing. So even like if you give 10 15 minutes every day for like each language, suppose Java or Python, that is enough. And yeah, that will definitely improve your overall skills, and it will highlight your like resume, uh, because you will be showcasing those skills, and other peoples won't be having those skills.
Yeah, so like as said, consistency is key to success. We can,
Yeah, right.
yeah, moving forward, given how rapidly the tech industry evolves, how do you keep yourself updated and stay ahead in your field?
uh yeah, so like since IT industry, like there is a every day there is something new coming, and you cannot stay behind. You cannot stick with one skill and ignore whatever the things coming in market. So you should always like as I said, always stay updated. So I keep on learning even if I'm like working on my project. So I give some time each day, like even if like I'm not able to get 1 hour, but at least I will take 10 15 minutes each day to read like something about the new tech, like whatever it's coming. So it's Gen AI, prompt prompt engineering, then the Chat GPT. So you should always like I keep myself so busy, like I don't get any time for like going to the social medias and other like looking for the web series. So yeah, since you already have the work and you have to keep yourself updated in the industry, and you should like you should not feel like oh, I'm so out of the industry and I don't know like if I can sustain in this industry for long. So if you keep yourself updated with the latest technology, if you keep learning each day, then yeah, there is no limit for learning. So yeah, you can, there are a lot of skills and lot of knowledge which you can gain. So yeah, I always like keep on learning every day, even if I don't get much time, but at least I try to get at least 5 minutes to go through some things.
Yeah, that's an excellent advice. So, moving forward, every professional journey has its challenges. Could you share your particular tough challenge you faced in your career and how you overcome it?
Uh, yeah, so like each role will have its own challenges. So when I joined as a Java developer, so at that time, like you, everyone know, like in college times, we don't focus much on programming or any other things. But at that time, like I used to like feel like if I had given attention in college, and if I have seriously like focused on that thing, so I would have been better developer. But yeah, that I felt like yeah, I definitely wasted some time in college, because uh, the base is already there. So you don't need to be like having a developer like a like skill, but at least you should know the basics. If you focus on the basic, then the other things like the advanced thing will automatically like you will get upgraded to it once you started working on that.
Yeah. And now coming to an end, how has networking both within and outside your organization influenced your career? Do you have any advice for students on building meaningful professional connections?
Yeah, so yeah, network plays important role, and yeah, it's important everywhere, like not inside your organization, but outside organization, and not in personal as well as in professional. So yeah, you should have a better network, and yeah, the network should have like-minded people, not like you are interested in some like a professional role and you are following some social influencer, so you should have a meaningful network which will help you in your journey, and it should have some kind of benefit should be there for both, like for everyone in that network. So choose your network wisely, and yeah, uh, keep on growing your network in the uh, in the same manner like where you want to go through. And yeah, so if you're interested in growing your network on in the like in IT, so yeah, definitely there is a LinkedIn is there, so through that you can grow it. And at your college level also you should have some network, so like the students which are more focused on like some things, like if you're interested in some programming, or if you're interested in some other things also, like you should have that network. So there are like each people have different ideas, and there could be like different approaches for one problem. So yeah, the network will definitely help in long term.
Yeah, and as a data engineer, what are some exciting trends in the industry that students should be aware of and explore further?
Yeah, so in the data industry, like if you see in current like in today's world, so everything is based on the data, and there is nothing if you see most of the social media platforms like YouTube or Insta. So if you search anything on Google, then definitely like you will be seeing those ads only on your YouTube channel or on your Google or anywhere, because the platform is capturing your data, like whatever you are searching for, and that data is being used as a in algorithm, so that you will see only those things. So yeah, the data is most important thing in today's world, and in coming year like it will be even more important, because the data is like such a valuable thing. So it uh, currently if you see the historical data as well as the present data is very much important for the in the today's world, because each minute like there is uh, numerous things are coming, and without data like there is nothing. So it's just the data, and the future for the data is yeah, it will be mostly uh, what I would say. So like yeah, the data is very important in the future as well. And if you see everything is coming on the data, and yeah, so yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir, for sharing such valuable insights. I'm sure these answers have given our audience a lot to think about as they prepare for their placements. Over to you, Mehak.
Thank you for such a thought provoking discussion. Sir, if it's convenient for you, please could you switch on your video so that this interaction becomes even more engaging?
Yeah, just give me a minute.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now it is the time for the question and answer session. Uh, Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for the question and answer session where you, the audience, can directly interact with Mr. Vijay Kumar, sir. Please type your questions in the chat box. Feel free to ask Mr. Vijay Kumar your questions about interview preparation, career building, or anything else on your mind related to the placements. Please type in the chat box. The chat box is open. Please type your questions. Yeah. So, sir, the first question is like how to get internship and stuff related to internship.
uh yeah, so like for the internship as well, like you should have your resume prepared in such a way, like if there is any opening in any organization, So like it should your profile should stand out among the other candidate, and definitely like they will hire you. So you can look for the like different there are different portals. So for that, like for the if you where you can look for what are the internship opening are there in which organization. So you can keep on exploring, and you can keep applying, and wherever like your profile suits. So as already told, as per the job role available in that organization, you can update your resume and then apply. So just don't like prepare the resume one time and then keep on applying on the same resume. Don't do like that. Update your resume every time you see any update regarding the job role, and then only apply. So you can like keep multiple resumes prepared. So like one for Java developer, one for data engineer, one for testing, like for the tester role, one for the other role. So yeah, this way you can keep multiple resume prepared, and whenever you see opportunity, you can apply.
Thank you, sir. That was a key information for us. So the next question is, can you share any tips on how to effectively showcase projects on contributions to open source initiatives in?
Yeah, so for showcasing the project, so yeah, you should have some like good knowledge about your project. So if someone is asking anything about your project, so you should know in and out of that project. Not only like we do like four people's, 3 or 4 people's group, and one person will take one like one part, and then other is second part. So this way we like divide our project in different peoples, but you should know everything about your project, not only your part. So that way like the person which looking like maybe evaluating you, and if he asks like you should not stuck anywhere. So then he will feel like yeah, you are just uh, as everyone know like people do in a group project. So he will like say yeah, you only work on your stuff and you don't care about the other thing. So you should know what is the like in and out of your project, and everything should be like uh, clearly understood by each one.
Yeah. Okay. So the next, moving on to the next question. In the data industry, which job role should we target as a fresher, like data scientist or data analyst, and what guidance will you give for that?
Yeah, so as a fresher, you should look for the data analyst role, because that way you will get to like introduced in this industry. And data analysis is like easy to start with initially, like as you don't have much experience and much knowledge about the programming languages. So for the data analyst, like you need mostly the SQL. So you can focus on one thing first, and once you start in, then you can go to the data engineer, and then after that like since you need the like the algorithm writing skills, so that after data engineer you can target for the data scientist.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, what is the roadmap to be data engineer from scratch?
Yeah, so from scratch, like as a fresher, if you want to become a data engineer, then first thing is like go through Python. You should know at least like at mid level, and then after that you should have good knowledge about the SQL. Then also there is a PySpark, so you can go through it, and also you know about the PySpark. Sorry, about the Spark. Apache Spark is there, so it is a framework, and yeah, everything like the processing happens on the Spark. So you should know about these four things at least. And then there are different cloud skills like Azure is there, then there is a AWS, then there is a GCP. So one of these three can be useful, like you can target for the Azure or AWS, but yeah, one of the cloud skill is important for the data engineer.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So the next question is like, what kinds of questions are asked for campus placements?
Yeah, so the placements are like they don't go much in technical side. So once you go through your aptitude round, so the next round is mostly the interview. And in interview, like they mostly check how confident you are, how your like communication skill is, and if you have like a good presentation skill. And yeah, some like if some role have some technical uh, technical background is needed for that role, then you can focus on those things. Like if it's a Java developer, or if it's a tester role, then you can focus what tools we use, how they can be used by the developer and the tester.
Okay, sir. So the lastly, we have a last question here. That is, sir, can certification courses, which can be helpful to showcase in our resume?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like when I say keep on learning, so you should also like target some certifications. So if you have time, keep on learning. And so if you target for any certification, then there will be like one learning path. So that is even better than like just learning each thing. Like today I will learn something from YouTube. Tomorrow I will learn something from Google. So like instead of that, it's even better to target the certification, and it will definitely highlight your profile. Because everywhere, like even after the having experience, there are two profiles, and one candidate has done some certification and other hasn't. So they will prefer the candidate who has done the certification. So yeah, that will be definitely helpful.
Okay, thank you, sir. You've provided us a lot of information and advices. We'll surely keep all of them in our minds. So, thank you everyone for your active participation in the question and answer session and for making this event engaging and interactive. To formally conclude today's session, I now invite our president of SARC Club community, Mr. Dhanraj, to share his closing remarks and express gratitude to our guests and organizers. Over to you, Dhanraj. Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you everyone. All the best for your future.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of the SAR Club and entire VIIT community, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude for joining us today and taking out time from your busy schedule. Wishing you continued success in all your endeavors. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
We would like to conclude this meeting here. Thank you, everyone, for joining.